Once upon a time, in a little house on the edge of a great wide wood, lived a young boy with his mother. The poor boy was sick and spent much of his days in bed, watching the days pass by from a little window in his room. The boy's mother loved him very much, but it was just the two of them, and the boy was ill of health and frail of form. Every day, she had to make the journey to town, where she worked in the kitchens of a local lord. While she was gone, the boy would mind the house, read one of their precious few books, and observe the bees and the trees and the birds in flight, as he spent the greater part of his time resting in bed. The boy knew that his mother loved him, and that her time away was all for his sake. And he was grateful for her and loved her in return. One day, as the boy sat in bed looking at the fields that lay between his home and the woods, he noticed a cat making its way out of the forest. It was not long before the boy realized this cat, clearly making its way towards his home, was no ordinary cat. For upon his head, he wore a little top hat. And if that were not strange enough on its own, as the cat pattered up beneath the boy's window, he stood, doffed his cap, took a bow, and said,
"Greetings, master. You look like to do a bit of dancing."
The boy, stunned by these words from the dapper little cat, could scarcely find his voice.
"Oh, no, sir,"
said the boy.
"I don't know how to dance, nor am I made for it."
"Nonsense,"
said the cat.
"Anyone can dance if they can. Yet to. Come outdoors and let me show you."
As he spoke, the cat donned his hat and began to turn in circles and dance. The boy was curious, but said,
"Good Sir Cat, I'm afraid I am ill. My lungs are too weak, and my bones are too frail."
"Maybe they are, maybe they aren't.
The cat replied.
But either way, you don't want the world to pass by you. Come, take the walk with me. I'll show you how to dance."
Overcome by his doubts, the boy managed to climb out of his window and walk a few steps closer. This was no ordinary cat, and no ordinary day. And though he felt unsure, his heart did leap a little as he began to follow the marvelous little cat through the grass. Eventually, he found himself stepping under the shade of the woods for the first time in a great many years. All the while, the cat frolicked and capered as they wound their way into the ring of trees. The cat, whirling about, his hat in hand, twirled around the boy, laughing and calling, until quick as a flash, the cat brought his top hat down right atop the boy's head, who was suddenly plunged into darkness. But only a moment, because all about him, shining in the dark, he saw the glow of hundreds of eyes, feline eyes, glimmering in the dark. Suddenly about him, lanterns flared to life, and the boy saw he was no longer in a wood at all. Here, he saw a grand ballroom, festively decorated and filled to the brim with cats. Big cats and small ones, old cats, young ones, cats of every breed and color. And in the center of the great hall, with a crown of gold replacing his top hat, stood the boy's feline guide.
"The world and man is heavy and hard,
The princely cat proclaimed.
and you are lacking 3 things you need. Let me dance you the gift of strength. Dance with us and forget your troubles."
All at once, scores of cats closed in around the boy, purring and turning about his legs thick as the sea. And as they moved, so too did the boy's feet, swirling among them like a cork in the water. Before he knew, the boy was dancing as he never imagined he could. And his breath, much to his surprise, was hearty and hale. He found he no longer felt ill at the least. Hours passed, and he and all the cats danced without end, until the boy suddenly remembered his mother, and immediately feared she would worry. He stopped in the middle of the hall and called out to the Prince of Cats,
"Forgive me, Cat Prince, but I can no longer stay. My mother will worry. I have to return."
All the cats parted before him, and the prince approached the boy.
Are you sure? You can dance with us as long as you want.
Forever and ever and ever.
I cannot. My mother has only me, and I would not leave her alone. Forgive me.
The Prince of Cats looked at the boy with a sympathetic eye.
Not that. Oh, young man. You do your mother's credit.
And with that, the Prince of Cats stepped closer. Do not look so crestfallen. Take your cat's grace with you. You can always dance if the will is there. And from behind his back, he brought out his top hat again and pulled it over the boy's eyes. And once again, all was dark.
Greetings, young master. You could use a bit of dancing.
Excellent.